But in September or October, maybe we'll look more at subbing versus getting a full-time job because the chances are less likely to get a job.
Abby and Brittany Hensel, two heads, one body, and one shocking truth about their lives that will leave you speechless. From navigating the stares of strangers to questions no one else could imagine facing, their journey isn't just unusual, it's extraordinary. They've mastered the impossible, living as two distinct people, all while the world obsesses over rumors of love and an alleged crazy marriage. Let us pull back the curtain on their story and uncover the reality that changes everything. The Hensel twins' story. Born way back in 1990 in some small town in Minnesota, these two have spent their lives being a kind of walking, breathing fascination for the rest of us. Two heads, one body, and a world full of questions they never asked for. It's a wild setup, but they've somehow made it work. And not just in a survive kind of way. They're thriving, teaching, and even keeping the media's nose out of their personal business most of the time. But there's one decision they made that changed everything, and it's a story few people know. Abby and Brittany have this condition called dicephalic parapagus. Sounds like a spell from a bad fantasy novel, but it just means they share one body with two heads. Abby's got dibs on the right side, Brittany's running the left, and that's not just a cute little fact, it's their whole reality. Walking, eating, driving a car, all those things we do without thinking, they've got to coordinate like Olympic-level athletes just to keep it together. The fact they haven't strangled each other is a miracle. Or maybe it's just proof that they're operating on a level of patience and teamwork the rest of us can't even comprehend. Growing up, their parents did their best to give them a normal life. Well, as normal as you can get when the world won't stop staring. Patty and Mike Hensel deserve some credit here. They didn't turn their daughters into a sideshow act, and they didn't treat them like one person either. Abby and Brittany were taught to be individuals, separate preferences, different goals. One body, sure, but two totally distinct personalities. Abby's the logical one, Brittany's the more artsy one. And no, they don't always agree, which must make arguments over dinner or Netflix a little tricky. Fast forward a couple of decades and they're not just surviving, they went to college, graduated, and now they're teaching little kids. Elementary school teachers. They're sharing one salary, which is maybe a little unfair when you consider the sheer effort it must take to navigate a classroom while being literally two people. But they're doing it, and if anyone can teach kids about teamwork, it's these two. The internet, as always, loves to stick its nose into other people's business, and nothing gets the rumor mill spinning like Abby and Brittany's love lives. Crazy marriage headlines? Check. Speculation about how romance even works for them? Of course. It's like the world collectively decided their private lives are a puzzle to solve. But let's take a step back here. Are we really that obsessed with how it works? Apparently, yes. The idea of marriage for conjoined twins is, let's face it, complicated. Who's in charge? How do you navigate consent, compatibility, and all those little quirks that come with relationships? For Abby and Brittany, these questions aren't just theoretical. They're real, lived experiences. But here's the kicker. They're not telling us. They've made it pretty clear they're not interested in laying out their personal lives for the world to dissect. And good for them. Just because their existence is unique doesn't mean they owe anyone an explanation. Still, that doesn't stop people from speculating. The whole crazy marriage angle? It's a tabloid fever dream, mostly fueled by curiosity and maybe a little bit of discomfort. Because let's be honest, we're not used to thinking about love and relationships in a way that doesn't fit neatly into our usual boxes. Abby and Brittany don't fit any of our boxes, and that's exactly what keeps people talking. They're not out here living to satisfy our curiosity. They're busy doing their thing, whether it's teaching, traveling, or just living life. They've dealt with everything from medical challenges to relentless public attention, and they've come out on top. If that doesn't shut down the doubters, nothing will. Their story does make you think about individuality, about identity, about what it means to share everything, literally everything, with someone else. Abby and Brittany are a walking reminder that life doesn't come with a rule book. They've written their own rules and they're sticking to them. If that's not inspiring, what is? People will keep asking questions. They'll keep gossiping, speculating, and trying to fit Abby and Brittany into some kind of narrative that makes sense to them. But here's the truth. The twins don't need to explain themselves to anyone. They're out here proving that normal is overrated, challenges can be overcome, and privacy is a right they'll fiercely protect. And maybe that's the real story. Not the crazy marriage headlines or the endless questions, but the fact that Abby and Brittany are living their lives on their own terms. What's it like to live as two people in one body? Let's meet Abby and Brittany and see how they make it work. High school, friendships, and finding independence. The future remains uncertain. The new footage hints at potential health issues that could be on the horizon, and it is hard not to worry about what might come next. The Hensel twins have faced more challenges than most people could imagine, and they have done it with grace and resilience. But the reality is that their shared organs are under constant strain, and as they get older, those challenges are only going to get tougher. Their medical team is keeping a close eye on things, but there is no denying that the stakes are high. Through it all, what stands out the most is these sisters' bond. They are not just siblings, they are partners in every sense of the word. They support each other through the tough times, celebrate the good moments, and face every challenge together. The footage captures some truly touching moments between them, moments that show just how deep their connection goes. It is a reminder that no matter what happens, they will always have each other, and that might just be their greatest strength of all. Growing up, these siblings learned to swim, run, and even play sports like volleyball. Watching them participate in physical activities, it becomes apparent just how much practice and effort it takes for them to achieve what most take for granted. Every movement requires cooperation. Every action requires planning. When they run, one controls one leg and the other manages the other. Imagine having to trust someone so completely that even the simple act of running requires you to be in perfect sync. Yet they do it, and they do it well. In their teenage years, a time that is challenging for any young person, but especially so for these two. Navigating friendships, school, and social events as conjoined twins came with its own set of unique challenges. There were moments of frustration, times when they disagreed on what to wear or how to spend their time. One memorable scene shows them getting ready for a school dance. One wanted to wear a blue dress while the other preferred a green one. It might seem trivial, but for them, it was a significant compromise. In the end, they chose a dress that had elements of both colors, a symbol of the constant give and take that defines their relationship. Their high school years were also marked by achievements. They learned how to drive, something that many thought would be impossible. The footage shows them practicing with their driving instructor, learning how to coordinate their movements to operate the car safely. One twin was in charge of the pedals and gear shifts, while the other handled the steering. It took hours of practice, patience, and a few setbacks, but they eventually got their licenses. The pride on their faces as they held up their driver's licenses was unmistakable. It was a moment of independence, a testament to their determination to live life on their own terms. Their decision to pursue a career in teaching was another significant milestone. After graduating from Bethel University, they began teaching 4th and 5th graders. The footage shows them in action, standing at the front of the classroom, engaging with their students. Their teaching style is dynamic, with each sister bringing her unique strengths to the role. One, with her detail-oriented nature, focuses on explaining concepts clearly, while the other, with her more relaxed demeanor, makes learning fun and accessible. Together, they create a learning environment that is both structured and enjoyable. Their students love them, not because they are different, but because they are genuinely good teachers. The footage captures moments of laughter in the classroom, students raising their hands eagerly, and the sisters working together to answer questions. It is clear that they have found their calling, and despite the challenges, they are making a positive impact on the lives of their students. One particularly touching moment shows a student giving them a handmade card that reads, "Best Teachers Ever." It is a simple gesture, but it speaks volumes about the kind of educators they are. However, the new health concerns hinted at in the footage cast a shadow over their future. As they get older, the strain on their shared organs becomes more pronounced. Their liver, in particular, has been a focus of concern for their medical team. The footage shows them at a doctor's appointment undergoing tests to monitor their liver function. The worry on their faces is evident, but so is their determination. They have faced health scares before, and they have always come through stronger. But the reality is that their bodies are unique, and that uniqueness comes with risks that are difficult to predict. The footage also touches on their emotional journey. Living as conjoined twins means that they have never had a moment to themselves. They are together all the time, and while their bond is incredibly strong, it is not without its challenges. There are times when they argue, times when they need space that they simply cannot have. One scene shows them sitting quietly, each lost in her own thoughts. It is a rare moment of stillness, a reminder that even the closest of relationships need breathing room. Despite these challenges, the sisters have found ways to maintain their individuality. They have different hobbies, different tastes in music, and even different groups of friends. The footage shows one painting, a hobby she loves, while the other prefers to read. It is these small acts of independence that allow them to express who they are as individuals, even while sharing one body. Their friends and family have always supported this, encouraging them to pursue their own interests and celebrating their differences. The support of their family cannot be overstated. The footage provides a glimpse into the sacrifices their parents have made to give the twins the best possible life. Their mother talks about the early days, the sleepless nights spent worrying about their health, and the countless doctor visits. Their father, ever the problem solver, built custom furniture and equipment to accommodate their needs. Their siblings too played a role, treating them no differently than anyone else. It is this unwavering support that has helped them become the resilient, independent women they are today. The twins are now addressing critics in a way that leaves no room for misunderstanding. Facing public scrutiny. Twin sisters are speaking their truth to the critics. These well-known conjoined siblings have taken to social media to respond to the ongoing chatter, particularly about one's marriage to Josh Bowling. They recently shared a TikTok picture of the newlywed featuring an audio clip that captured their perspective perfectly. The point? If someone dislikes them but keeps following their every move, they're still a fan. The pair's direct approach to calling out hypocrisy shows that, despite the critics, they can't seem to look away. This isn't their first time addressing the noise from the internet. Back on March 28th, they shared another TikTok, subtly addressing negative remarks. The video displayed ancient sculptures of conjoined twins, accompanied by a caption reminding viewers that they've always been here. It was their way of highlighting that they are not a novelty but part of history. Conjoined people have always existed, and it's about time society accepted that. These exceptional sisters have spent much of their lives in the public spotlight. They first gained major recognition in 1996 on The Oprah Winfrey Show, where they shared insights into their unique experience. Lately, a lot of the online chatter has focused on one's marriage to Josh Bowling, a nurse and U.S. Army veteran. People are intrigued, and not always positively. Some ask questions, while others make rude comments, implying that the life choices of one impact both, or expressing disbelief that either could have a normal relationship. But the reality is that marriage hasn't changed who they are or their shared life. It's clear her sister fully supports the relationship, and they continue their journey together as a team. To doubters and critics, they have one simple response. They're not living for the approval of strangers on the internet. It's amazing how these women have remained composed despite all the criticism. It's worth noting that they are both now fifth-grade teachers. After all they've endured, they've chosen to contribute to their community by educating young minds. Imagine having teachers who have overcome more by their 20s than most people face in a lifetime. Their dedication to the classroom is truly admirable. They face judgment and overcome it, choosing to inspire instead. Their students get to witness resilience, teamwork, and determination firsthand, lessons that no textbook can truly capture. Dicephalic parapagus is an uncommon and extraordinary form of conjoined twinning, where two heads are side by side on one body. This occurs when a fertilized egg fails to fully divide during the early stages of development. Essentially, it's like two individuals trying to exist within a single body, and how they share organs and limbs determines their quality of life. It's not just about surviving birth, it's about discovering how much of a typical life is possible. Conjoined twins occur in about 1 in 50,000 to 100,000 births, with dicephalic parapagus twins making up around 11% of these cases. In this kind of conjoining, there is one body with two separate heads. They may have two hearts, which greatly aids survival. Other times, they have only one heart, complicating things. The number of limbs can also differ. They might have anywhere from 2 to 4 arms or 2 to 3 legs. Each case is unique, adding complexity. Often, dicephalic parapagus twins are stillborn or die shortly after birth. It's a tough situation because when vital organs are shared, risks are extremely high. Yet not all hope is lost. Some dicephalic twins survive and reach adulthood. Separating them is not always an option, especially if they share critical organs. The decision really depends on how interconnected their organs are, and even then, it's a risky procedure that could lead to disaster for one or both twins. Doctors have coined scientific names for these twins based on the number of limbs they have. Twins with 2 arms are called dibrachius. Those with 4 arms are tetrabrachius. This is simply a classification of how many limbs are present. While it might sound technical, it's essentially a way for doctors to comprehend what's happening within the shared body. The medical field hasn't always been compassionate toward dicephalic twins. In the past, there was debate about whether they should receive medical help at all. Some argued it was better not to treat them due to the difficulties they'd face and the risks involved. Thankfully, attitudes have shifted significantly. Today, there's more support and emphasis on quality of life, not just survival, but ensuring they have a chance at a fulfilling life, even if it's very different from most people's experiences. This condition is rare and complex, fraught with medical and ethical challenges. Most dicephalic parapagus twins do not live long, but those who do can lead extraordinary lives given the obstacles they face. Medical advances continue to improve our understanding and management of this rare condition, but it's always a challenging journey for the twins and their families. In a 2003 documentary, these sisters spoke about their desire to become mothers someday. It was a touching moment that resonated deeply, showing that despite their circumstances, their dreams are much like anyone else's. They want careers, relationships, and perhaps a family. But the internet often complicates things. People ask invasive questions or make judgments, forgetting that these two are real individuals with emotions, not just an online spectacle. For those who can't see beyond their curiosity or choose to be rude or judgmental, the sisters have a straightforward message. They aren't seeking anyone's approval. They aren't asking for permission to live their lives. In a society obsessed with appearances, they serve as a powerful reminder that there's much more to a person than meets the eye. Do we judge too quickly, or are we just afraid of what we don't understand? If you enjoyed this discussion, like the video, leave your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe.